हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू आवर यूट्यूब चैनल के7 अपडेट्स। आज हम आपके साथ बीजी फिफ्थ सेमेस्टर जनरल इंग्लिश के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन शेयर करने जा रहे हैं विथ आंसर्स। अगर आपको बीजी फिफ्थ सेमेस्टर के प्रीवियस ईयर डिस्क्रिप्टिव पेपर चाहिए तो हमारे प्ले लिस्ट ज़रूर चेक करना। बीजी फिफ्थ सेमेस्टर हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल पे हमने ऑलमोस्ट सभी प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर शेयर किए हैं वहाँ पे। और अगर आप हमारा व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप ज्वाइन करना चाहते हो तो डिस्क्रिप्शन में हमने लिंक दी हुई है, वहाँ से आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हो। अगर हम इन क्वेश्चंस की बात करें, इसमें जो पहला क्वेश्चन है, राइट ए नोट ऑन द थीम ऑफ द प्ले मदर्स डे, डू यू अप्रूव ऑफ द मेथड अडॉप्टेड बाय मिसेस फिट्जजेराल्ड, इलुसिडेट। इस क्वेश्चन का जो आंसर है, द थीम ऑफ मदर्स डे इज द लो स्टेटस ऑफ ए वुमेन इन हर फैमिली एंड हाउ शी डिजर्व्स टू बी द बॉस ऑफ द हाउस। दिस इशू इज कॉमन इन एवरी कंट्री। शी इज द वीकर सेक्स, शी इज neglected, her services are neither acknowledged nor paid for. Mrs. Fitzgerald, the liberated and strong neighbor of Mrs. Pearson, shows the way she enters her spirit into Mrs. Pearson's body and spends a couple of hours in the neighbor's house. She deals very harshly with all the family members. George, Cyril, and Doris, all of them are shocked and surprised at the changed behavior of Mrs. Pearson. They give in at last to her wishes. Mrs. Fitzgerald's method proves very successful in solving the problem. Next question, give your brief comments on the five main characters in the play Mother's Day. इस क्वेश्चन का जो आंसर है, मदर्स डे इज ए ह्यूमरस एंड satirical presentation of a grim little family drama. It discusses the issues of the status of a mother and wife in the family. The play has five characters in all. Mrs. Fitzgerald is a strong woman, aggressive and demanding. Her neighbor, Mrs. Pearson, is just her opposite. She is given to serving her husband and children. She makes no demands. She does not dare to displease anybody, but she resents their neighbor inwardly. Her husband, George, is pompous, selfish, and the center of jokes at the club. Her son, Cyril, is a young man, and her daughter is Doris. Both are working in offices. They come home in the evening, demand tea and ironed clothes so that they can go out again. All the three are self centered. They neglect Mrs. Pearson, who is all docile, motherly, and submissive. ये था second question. Question number third, what do you look at Mrs. Pearson's genius problems and Mrs. Fitzgerald's suggestion? It is practicable, imaginative, and realistic. इस क्वेश्चन का जो आंसर है, द रेजिमेंट ऑफ मिसेस पियर्सन इज जीनियस एंड रियलिस्टिक. हर्स is a miserable life. That is the experience of most of the women. She is sensitive and servile. That is why she is neglected by her family members. The solution suggested by Mrs. Fitzgerald is quite effective, but it is not practical as everyone does not have magical skills. Mrs. Fitzgerald commands a drastic action. Any woman who is in Mrs. Pearson's place would have to deal with the situation in a tactful manner. The matter would have to be resolved by discussing things with each other rather than dramatic way shown by Mrs. Fitzgerald. इसका जो लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट द कैरेक्टर्स ऑफ मिसेस फिट्जजेराल्ड एंड मिसेस पियर्सन, हु डू यू एडमायर एंड वाई। इस क्वेश्चन का जो आंसर है, इट इज मिसेस फिट्जजेराल्ड एंड मिसेस पियर्सन मेक एन इंटरेस्टिंग स्टडी इन कॉन्ट्रास्ट. मिसेस फिट्जजेराल्ड इज स्ट्रॉन्ग, aggressive, liberated, and domineering. She lives life on her own terms. She smokes, plays cards, and drinks short. She can challenge anybody. She even jumps up to slap George. She runs down Doris Fancy. She takes Cyril to task for wasting time and money on dog races and ice shows. Mrs. Pearson, on the other hand, is weak minded and docile. She does not dare to displease any matter of her family. She agrees with the way suggested by Mrs. Fitzgerald, but she is afraid of hurting the feelings of the members of her family. Mrs. Fitzgerald has a domineering personality, while Mrs. Pearson has pleasing looks and nature, and she is rather nervous. We certainly need more women like Mrs. Fitzgerald who can stand up for their rights. ये था बीजी फिफ्थ सेमेस्टर जनरल इंग्लिश के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस। आने वाले दिनों में हम गेस्ट पेपर भी अपलोड करते रहेंगे बीजी फिफ्थ सेमेस्टर के। थैंक यू।